Hi, I'm George, W5JDX with AmateurLogic and Ham Nation.
And I'm Ray, N9JA with Icom America.
And Ray is back with another radio. This time we've got, what radio is that?
That is the IC-V86 2-meter portable.
And that's kind of like a VHF portable on steroids?
Yes, it is. I say it's a big mouth radio. It's more power, more audio, and it's a shame that our handheld expert isn't with us today.
Tommy, yeah, he should be here for this. Maybe he can hear us from Connecticut.
Oh, that's where he went to, huh?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, we're not going to do the formal unboxing because that gets kind of boring at times.
All right, so we just won't call it that, and we'll just do it.
Yes, sir. But a couple of things that I wanted to show is, one is right here we're looking at the hologram information. It tells you about the V86 as an authentic Icom product. We've had problems with offshore manufacturers copying our VHF portables and our mobiles. So this product's going to have a new hologram logo on it.
Yeah, I've heard that that's an issue, that there are counterfeits out on the market.
Oh, there definitely are. I mean, we've had some crazy looking model numbers that are UV something, 91 I think at one time. So it's been kind of crazy that other manufacturers want to take part in Icom's strong name. I mean, even some of the product had the Icom logo on them. So need to make sure if you get a V86 that it has the Icom hologram.
Okay.
Also, our trusty Icom limited warranty registration card. This is what the owner's manual looks like now. Very simple.
Huh.
If it's too many pages, it's going to be too complicated for a 2-meter portable. And as Gordon has said before, what is your favorite handheld? It's the one that you can operate.
Well, that's a good point.
So some of the things are already put together. As I struggle to pull out the V86, the antenna on it, I've already got the battery pack placed on it. It's shipped separately, but that's a meaty little
fair size battery. 2250 milliampere hours, so it comes with a decent battery.
That's the small battery. We have a larger battery for it. And looking at operation times of 5590, 5% transmit, 5% receive, 90% standby, we're rating at 19 hours of operation.
Wow.
So if you're looking for emergency communications and you need a long life battery pack and 7 watts, then this is going to be the radio for you.
Now, is that the hologram that's inside there?
Oh, yes sir, it is.
Oh, well, that's pretty.
Huh?
I see blue. Wow.
Runs off a 12-volt DC.
Okay.
Now this is a drop-in rapid charger. And it's a smart charger as well. It will not, if you select to extend the life of the battery and you turn that to on, it won't fast charge it all the way to the top. It'll charge it about 80%, and that will help your battery life on the number of charges be a lot longer.
And that's lithium-ion batteries prefer that.
Yes, sir.
Long life.
And then finally,
It's got a little weight to it.
what I like is if you travel, it has its own adapter. And you select whether you want US mains or European mains.
Mm-hmm. Being that we're in the U.S. here, easy enough.
Yes, sir. Now, like I mentioned earlier, the input voltage on it is 12 to 16 volt DC.
So you could use that in a car.
Screw holes, so if you want it to go nowhere, just bolt it down to the hump in the middle of your truck. Because of the battery having grooves in the side, you can charge just the battery by itself.
So you don't have to have the radio on the charger.
No, sir.
Cool.
we've caught a little bit of flack because on the body of the radio there are no ports for charging. And this is one thing to keep the integrity of the radio, so we have an IP54 rating for dust, light, and water resistance.
I have never thought about that, but yeah, it's a good point. That makes a lot of difference. If you got a hole in your radio, water's probably going to get in.
Yes, sir. And even on the battery itself, you'll see along the top edge, you got a rubber gasket all the way around.
Oh, yeah.
We'll go ahead and power it up.
And that's a pretty serious rubber duck there. That thing's not going to
And instead
bend
of
on you real easy.
That's true. And instead of going to an SMA or reverse SMA,
BNC. the
BNC.
old Faithful.
Yes, sir.
Nice.
A lot more rugged if you want to put it to an external antenna.
Mm-hmm.
So I mentioned earlier, it's a big mouth radio.
That is really loud.
So it is a very loud 1.5 watt audio out. And it's been the first radio that I've seen that when you put your hand over it, you can feel the vibration of the speaker at full volume.
Yeah.
You can directly enter in the frequency that you want to operate. You have the function button in the lower left-hand corner, and then the secondary. You want to turn tone on. The radio's got Vox, tone scan.
Tone scan.
So if you don't know the frequency of somebody's radio to access a repeater, you go to tone scan and it will capture the tone that their radio is transmitting. Or if the repeater is transmitting a tone,
Yeah.
you can find out that tone as well.
Cool.
So your scan skips, duplex, priority, set mode, wide narrow FM, and just toggle on through them.
And pretty decent sized digits on the display there too.
For looking at how compact the radio is itself, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
I mean, to give you something for a comparison to the size, here's an iPhone 8S, I think it is. So it's not much difference in height. Thickness, of course, it's going to be much thicker.
Oh yeah.
Your microphone, speaker microphone, plugs in on the side.
Okay.
Also, the speaker is a programming port, so you can get the V86 software to program the memory channels. It's a very slick and nice size portable.
Let me feel the heft of it there, because it looks like this is a little heavier than some radios I see. That's a good firm feeling radio there.
And it's got a solid push to talk on it as well.
Yeah, you got a click confirmation too, so you know that you've done something.
Yes, sir.
That feels good. As a matter of fact, it feels so good that, we'll see you later.
Oh, there we go again. I lose more good radios by coming over here.
That's my job. No, it really looks like a nice radio. It's not a subcompact model. This feels a little more rugged than a lot of the radios we see today.
It is. It's mil-spec standard 810 C, D, E, F, and I think G as well. I didn't realize they had that many letters of the alphabet tied to it.
Yeah.
But if you look at the brochure as well as on our website, we list all the tests and the procedures where they had those ratings. So it's not one of those built to mil-spec standards. We've actually done the testing on it.
And what kind of power output?
You've got four levels of power output. The high power, or what we call extra high, is 7 watts. 5 watts, and I think the lowest power setting is a 1/2 a watt.
That's
So probably 7, 5, 2.5, and 1/2 a watt.
okay. Pretty good choices there.
Yes, sir.
7 watts, so that's enough that you can tell a little difference.
Oh yeah. Where you'd normally be scratchy into the repeater, you could probably get in full quieting at that point.
Mm-hmm.
But there again, it expands your simplex coverage as well.
Well, true. True, it does. Now, is this a radio that would be recommended for emergency communicators?
I would think so. I mean, the IP-67, it tells you that it's a submersible radio.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely one that you could be out in the middle of foul weather and not have to really worry that much. And it's also small enough where if you had a vest, you can wear it here. Wouldn't recommend full volume right here.
No, that would blow your ears. Maybe even blow your ears smooth off your head. It's so loud.
But there again, very, very nice feeling radio. A couple of the other things is on your control. If you turn the knob slowly, it increments nice and slow. But if you go quickly,
Okay.
I mean, you go from full volume at 24 to 0 in a quarter of a turn by turning it fast.
So the reaction is pretty much real time. It's not like you're sitting there spinning it and getting nowhere.
Yes, sir. Then you've got where you can adjust your incremental step.
Mm-hmm. Now, where is the power button on it? Right there.
Right there.
Okay.
And then you also have the weather channels.
Lows in the lower 50s. Saturday, sunny.
So
Yeah.
you got your weather channel. And George, you built a nice Faraday cage in here.
Well, I did. You know, this is a metal building that we're in, and I actually have it grounded with, 1.5-inch copper strap, so it really helps keep the
Are we
RF
really
out.
going into grounding?
Yeah, well, no, we're not going far into that. Well, let me ask you this. It's got the weather radio in it. Does it have a weather alert function?
Well, let's take a look here. I believe it does. Mic sensitivity, Vox, alert off, ALT off.
Okay.
So yes. Now, then, while it sounds like a great feature, it annoys some people that really don't know what it does. It's
Yeah.
really a priority watch of your weather
Right.
channel. So it'll sit there and jump back and forth, and we've had customers call. Every 5 seconds, it cuts out on the audio that's coming in.
Well, it's because it's
You got weather
switching
alert turned on,
frequencies.
sir?
Yeah.
Or ma'am? I think I do. That's what's happening.
Yeah. On my IC-4100 over there, the way I usually use it, I don't have the weather alert on unless I'm, expecting bad weather and the possibility that, there could be an
Yes.
alert. I will turn it on and just use it for that.
Oh, yes. And that is a good way of using it. Light can be automatic, setting.
Pull it over this way.
Some of these I don't really remember off the top of my head, but there again,
A nice, convenient.
nice convenient manual. And when we take a look at all the specifications here, the precautions, the front panel description, what the secondary function of the keypad. So you got CTCSS as well as DTCS. I mean, this is one of those perfect examples. You can't remember everything in the radio. You got to pull
Right.
out that fine manual. We also have battery icons to give you an idea when you're full, mid, charging required, or battery exhausted. It will turn off. Here's our set mode functions. So you got repeater tone, then tone squelch, DTCS tone, DTCS polarity, frequency offset for your duplex, reverse duplex function. On some of our mobiles we call that monitor.
Okay.
Tuning steps, scan resume setting, function key timer. So that was the FOAT. Function key timer. So it could either be a short duration or a long duration to wait for you to go to your next function.
Okay.
LCD backlight, transmit permission. So if you want to give it to somebody just to hear what's going on, you don't have to
lock
worry
them
about
out.
them messing around with it. You can lock it out. Your weather alert, Vox gain, mic gain, Vox delay, Vox timeout timer, DTMF, and then whether it's your wide FM that we use in amateur radio or narrow FM.
And so it would be a pretty simple matter if I wanted to, you know, I might not remember all of these things. I could just take my phone and take a snapshot of that.
Yes, sir.
I've got basically everything I need to know right there.
Glove box of your Go vehicle
Yep.
can be right there. So, I mean, when you fold it one more time, that is rear pocket size.
Yeah. Looks almost like a commercial radio.
In some countries it is. There is a Lamb mobile version of this radio, but that was pretty much the same way with every one of our 2-meter portables. If you remember, the V8 came in a green color. The V82, the U82, those were Lamb mobile commercial radios for other countries. And the most recent one being the V80, that as well.
Yeah. Because if I didn't know what this was and just saw it sitting on the shelf somewhere, especially in that charge station right there, I'd think, you know, that's maybe a police radio or something.
It's a real rugged radio.
Yeah.
Think you guys would put it through its paces during field day?
I think we could. I know that we could drop it, and I'm not sure. I couldn't guarantee we'd drop it in water, but I can think a lot of purposes for that.
Yeah, you guys not known for having a whole lot of rain, although you did have one field day where it just rained profusely.
And well, the last 2 years it rained out, so we couldn't go out, you know, in the woods at all.
So there you go. That would be the radio I'd recommend from Icom.
So with the functions right here on the front spelled out fairly plain, this would make a good radio for maybe a new technician, someone just getting into the hobby. And
George, it'll be a radio you would not have a fear of riding along in a fire truck with. They won't be making fun of you of your toy radio.
Yeah, this would be a good radio for preppers too, I think.
Be real solid. And one of the other things about it is it's a direct conversion radio. And I'm not going to begin to speculate. It says receive system, direct conversion.
Interesting. I don't know that I've seen that on a handy-talkie before.
Usually you have an IF frequency.
Right.
And that IF frequency is where you can get mixing of signals and image rejection issues and things like that. That's something interesting to see when the ARRL does a review on it.
Really is. Could be that rejection of unwanted signals is a little better on here than a typical handy-talkie.
And the sensitivity, we're looking at a minus 124 dBm at 12 dB SINAN typical. Squelch sensitivity is a minus 126 dB. That's a different way of measuring it. It's normally microvolt sensitivity.
True.
I'm looking forward to getting in-field reports on this new receiver design.
Yeah, you know, handy-talkies are kind of notorious for not working real well in high RF environments.
Not working very well, or adjacent signal interference, things like that. So it'll be interesting to see the test reports and results in that.
Yeah. Cool. 1.5 watts.
Yes, sir.
What does a typical handy-talkie have power-wise for audio?
500 milliwatts, 750 milliwatts.
Okay, that's a noticeable, very noticeable difference. Well, I could tell that sitting right here, and you know, with my nose started bleeding when you cranked it up there.
I was showing it for the first time at IWCE, and people were actually telling me, "Can you turn that down so I could talk to you?"
Yeah, it was.
So it is that level of audio, and while you don't want that if you're trying to work discreetly, if you're in a high noise environment, say you're helping guide traffic, you don't want to have an issue with not understanding what somebody just told you.
Right. Yeah.
So louder audio to get your attention, or that notorious, is your phone on silent? Well, no, I couldn't hear it because it's in my back pocket.
Yeah. Looks like a really solid construction there. This wasn't made in China, was it?
No, sir. Icom products for the radios are made in Japan. Some of our accessories will be made in China, but the radios themselves are manufactured in Japan.
So you know you got a good solid radio then. So many of them aren't today.
That's true. But people look at where it's made and how much it costs. So you're gonna see this radio under $150 with a high capacity lithium ion battery, 2250 I believe
Yep.
we noticed. A rapid charger that'll charge it in 2.5 hours. You think about the ability to being able to charge it in a vehicle.
That's, yeah.
You can mount it in a vehicle. In fact, the brochure even shows a mounting bracket, a vehicular mounting bracket for it. Nice little bungee to go over the top of the radio.
Yeah.
So in case you do get inverted in the vehicle, the radio doesn't go flying and hitting you in the head.
Anything else in the box there?
I don't think there's anything else in the
Okay.
box. There are several options for the radio. Of course, we talked about the speaker microphone, your
Right.
programming cable. The programming cable is the same programming cable that we've used for many years, the OPC 478 series. Along with those other accessories, you also have a AA alkaline case as well that will give you full power out.
Now, I know a lot of people that's the first accessory they buy is the AA alkaline case, because when you can't get anything charged, when you're out in the woods and you just need some juice, if you got a few AA's in your pack, you're good to go.
Yes, sir. So you got the AA's, you got a charger that will charge off a 12 to 16 volt DC. So that's my vote for a good, solid emergency communications radio.
Yeah.
And for those that you mentioned earlier, for the prepper community, we will have one that is called the Sport model that would come just with the alkaline case.
Huh. Yeah, I guess that might be their preferred.
Might be, or you got a new ham that's graduating and you want to give them a real quality radio, but you don't want to spend a whole lot. You can get them the Sport model. If they feel that they really want it, you can buy all the other accessories to go along with it.
Good idea. Really nice looking radio, Ray. I appreciate you bringing it by and giving us a close-up look at it.
And I'm glad Tommy's not here to try to rough me up.
Right, yeah. He's bad about that kind of stuff. Well, thanks for coming again, Ray.
All right, thank you, George. Thank you, everybody, for watching us.
7-3.
Propagation over water.
Thanks for bringing it by, and I will thoroughly enjoy using this. Yeah, I don't know what else you could ask for in a run out of stuff to say.
I mean, if folks have lasted this long with us on the video, they're probably going, come on, guys, enough already.